Rosemary. I am putting your video up there this morning, so don't worry. Okay, everybody good? I can see everyone there on the Zoom. Let's take a standing position. Just take your feet about shoulder width apart. Just get yourself balanced, connected to the ground. It's great to be getting your feedback. So Sue made some really good points last week about when we're raising our hand above the head in terms of blood pressure. So that's a very good point, because if we do have high blood pressure, we shouldn't be raising our hands above our head for too long. So we're just going to look at that step back move without raising your hand above the head. And also we're going to work on balance, really focus on balance on today's session as well. So get yourself balanced over the contact with the ground, and we'll just do some nice big circles just to get some movement flowing through the body. Using the ground as well. So just because we're focusing on upper body and arms, don't just bring the attention to the arms. So as you raise up, really feel grounded through the heels, contacted to the ground through the heels, and stable and strong. And you're opening up and extending, and then really strengthening and grounding. So extending like a nice big morning stretch, and now really grounding the body, stabilizing. And we can just coordinate the breath. So we're not changing the volume, we're just changing the breathing speed perhaps. So you're breathing in easily through the nose as you raise the arms, and then when you get to the top, you're breathing out as you're grounding the body. And breathing in, just a normal volume of air, just the volume of air that feels comfortable, not big. And breathing out. Let's do one more. In, really use the feet as well, really connect to the ground. And out. Give the hands a bit of a shake, bit of a rub together. Let's have a tap of the collarbone, get some vibration going through the body. Create some fists. Wake up your glutes. We're going to be doing quite a bit of work around our hips and thighs. And lower legs, and then give the legs a bit of a shake, and then come back to standing. Now bring your feet about fist width apart, so you've got a little bit of space but not too much space. One of the points when we're talking about balance, and this was a point that Sue made last week, is that we were just literally going into single leg balance, and then it actually helped if you were leaning on something or balancing yourself with the upper body. What I'd like to do is actually go to a step before you have to start balancing with the upper body. So let's focus on the right side of the body being strong and stable. So you're really using that right side to stabilize yourself, and then you're just peeling the heel. So actually, rather than just lifting the leg off and having to balance with the upper body, you're just kickstanding this left leg. So we're actually still stabilizing and strong down this right side, but we're using this left leg to stabilize. So I'd rather that in terms of the starting point of your single leg balance, rather than get to the point where you're having to survive that movement and then using your upper body to balance. In Tai Chi and Qi Gong and in the Qi running that I'm teaching, we focus on a center of gravity, a point, again, 3 finger widths down from the belly button in towards the spine, and that point is called the lower Dan Qian, or the energy center. And this is where you want your physical strength and physical grounding to come from. So the more you can bring the strength into the core, into the center, the more supported you're going to be, the more grounded you're going to be as well. Just going to hit that there 1 second. So let's go back again. Now let's change to the left side of the body. So you're balanced on the left side of the body. So you're grounded, stable, strong through that left side of the body. And then it's like a kickstand. You're just going to peel the heel, just release this right hip, this right knee, and this right ankle. So you're still stable through this left side, but you're not having to use your upper body to counterbalance. So you feel the strength right around here, around the hips. And then back to balance in between. So you're now balanced on both sides of the body. Take your time in this position to balance. Keep tall through the spine. Stabilize now on that right side again. Just release the hip, knee, and ankle of the left. So by doing stuff slowly and thoughtfully and mindfully, you're training your brain, you're creating those neurological connections for your body to realize, first of all, I need to stabilize. I'm going to stabilize now on the left side of my body. Once I'm strong and stable and balanced on the left side, just going to peel the heel. So I'm prepared and I can mobilize quite easily. Seems simple, but this is the starting point. When we're walking, when we're running, when we're moving, you're stepping forwards and balancing and stepping forwards and balancing. So the least amount of effort you're having to do with the upper body, and the more you can bring the focus to your center of gravity, this is the strong, powerful, physical energy center. Let's do that one more time. So check in with your vertical alignment first nice and tall and balanced. We're going to stabilize on the right side of the body. You're going to peel the heel. So there's going to be a little bit of a shift. You're going to feel the heel of the right side of the body pushing into the ground. So you're strong and stable on that right side. And then come back to center. So your center of gravity is balanced directly over your contact with the ground. Stabilize on that left side. Balance. Peel the right heel. So this is your starting point for balance. That's level 1. It's where we start from. And you can do that anywhere. You can do it cleaning your teeth. You can do it in the queue at Sainsbury's. Just checking in, grounding and stabilizing in one side of the body. Nice and tall. And relaxed around the arms. Give the arms a little bit of a shake. Give the legs a little bit of a shake out as well. So now we'll take that to stage 2. So just give yourself a moment to balance, fist width apart, tall through the spine, stabilize on the right side of the body, and then you're just going to bend the knee and lift the left heel. If we start to wobble and if you start to really use the upper body, then you stick with this one. Stick with just peeling the heel and just kickstanding that leg. But if we're confident and we're balanced, then just lift that heel. This is a really good point about the breath as well, because if the breath changes, then you've gone too far for what we're doing with this particular practice. We don't want to be surviving a movement. We don't want to be pushing ourselves beyond what we're capable of doing, because the more you do it really slowly and gradually, the stronger you'll get, the more progression you'll get. Your body's not just going into, I need to survive this, and cramping everything or tightening everything up. So see how much you can relax the arms. Again, if you feel you need to hold on to something, you just go back to this point. You just go back to kickstanding. Let's come back to center again. Take a moment in the center. Brain tells the body, I'm now going to stabilize through the left side of my body. So I'm going to be strong and stable through the left side of my body. When you're confident that you're strong and stable through the left side of the body, just pick that right heel off the ground, just bending this right knee. Everything nice and strong through that left side. The heel of that left heel is really grounded. Your center of gravity is balanced over that left side. And at the same time, you're just lengthening through the crown. Connecting to the ground, connecting to the earth, connecting to the sky. The minute the breath changes or you start to really wobble, 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 just bring the foot back down. So you're really body sensing. You're going to your edge, but you're not going beyond the edge. Because the minute you go beyond the edge, your body will just do anything to survive the movement. We want to be in control. So take yourself to the edge of your control. And as I say, one of the easiest ways to do that is notice what's going on in the breath. If you're holding the breath, you're tightening, and you're just out of control. If you're breathing easy through that movement, it will make a big difference. Give the legs a bit of a shake out. Now we'll go to the next stage on that one. I'm going to show you from the side. You can watch from the front. We're going to check in with our posture so we're nice and tall. We're going to stabilize. I'm stabilizing on the left side of the body now. So I'm stabilizing on the side of the body away from the camera. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hinge my hips slightly forwards and give a little bit of bend in that left knee. And as I do that, I'm going to slide my right leg back. So it's a bit like that kickstand. So I'm just sliding that right leg back. I'm keeping a neutral spine, so you might feel as if you're sticking your bum out a little bit, and just give a little bit in that left leg. So you're just tilting forwards a little bit and then coming back up to stand. So stabilize. We'll stay on the left side. We'll do 4 on the left side. Nice and tall. Slight tilt forwards from the hips. As you do that, the knee bends on that left leg. Just a small movement, and you're just reaching that right leg back. Keeping that right leg just sliding on the ground. And then come back up. And you could imagine that you're actually just putting something on the ground. So you're just reaching and you're just going, oh, I'm just going to pop something down on the ground in front of me there. Give a little bit on that left leg. Knee bends, neutral spine, slide back up. You should really feel this left hip working nice and strong. Balance again, heel into the ground on that left leg. Bend the knee. Slight tilt forwards, come back up. Again, just keep it so that you're really balanced, but all of the focus, all of the strength now is in the hip, in the core, in the center point here. Let's swap sides. So you don't have to turn around, but you can just balance now on your right side. Actually, I'll keep going on the right because then you can see what I'm doing with the right hip. I'm stabilizing on the right side, nice and tall. Hinge with the hip first, that knee starts to flex a little bit, keeping that neutral spine there, and I'm just tilting My hamstring's tight on this right, so I'm going to feel a slight tightness in my hamstring. It might feel different one side to the other. It's pretty standard that you will feel slightly different one side to the other. Nice and tall. Stabilize through that right hip. Slide back. Bend the knee. Again, it's almost as if you're putting something down with your left hand. And then come back up. So I'm just reaching down to the floor, using this right hip and reaching, bending, using this right hip to step back up and then give the legs a little bit of a shake out. So practice that. 3 simple steps into the balance. The first one is just in a standing posture, kickstand. All you're doing, just stabilize, kickstand. I'm doing it quickly now. Again, do it slowly so you've got time for your brain to accumulate the connection. And then when you've done the kickstand, just peel the heel, just bend the knee, stabilize, bend the knee. And then we can do that actual movement where you hinge forwards and just reach back a little bit. And you're going across the body. So if you're going to pop something down on the floor, you're reaching with the opposite arm, and then you're using that leg to step back up. You're reaching back, and you're stepping back up. Good, give your legs a bit of a shake out. I forgot to put my big clock on so I can't see what time it is. What time is it? 10 minutes. Right, we'll go back to the Turkish get-up and the end of the Turkish get-up because all of this comes into play there. So I'm going to show you again from the side. Now, let's do it without the hand above the head to start off with. So all we're going to do is exactly what we did there in the fact. I'll show you first and then you can follow it through. Tall through the spine, stabilized on that right side, slide back. But when we get to the slide back there, you're going to bring your upper body so that back knee bends. Just step back a little bit more, and then you're just going to lower that back knee to the ground. Now again, if you need something to kneel on, make sure you've got a mat, make sure that you're comfortable on that knee back onto the ground. From there, we're just going to come again, bring your centre of gravity forwards, step back up, step back up. So let's do 4 of those each side. So stabilize. We're on the right hip. Let's start on the right hip. Slight tilt forwards. Slide back. When you get to the point where you slid back and your left foot is behind you, now you can just bring that upper body to a slightly more upright position, which allows that left knee to bend, and then you just lower your upper body to the floor. Then you shift your centre of gravity forward so you've got more of the weight on that right side, step up, step back up, come nice and tall. Let's go again. Slight tilt, slide back, balance, bring that upper body slightly more upright. As it comes upright, you just lower that upper body to the floor. Then we step forwards again, but by stepping forwards, first of all, bring your centre of gravity forwards over this right leg. Push through that right heel, step up, step forwards. And again, first of all, check in nice and tall. Tilt and slide back. Balance, take your time to balance here. Bring that upper body a bit more upright. As you do, that left knee bends, and as that left knee bends, you can just lower it to the floor. To step forwards, move your centre of gravity forwards. Really work through that right side of the body. Push up, step up. Good, that should be really working that right side. Give your legs a bit of a shake out. And then we'll go on the other side. I'm going to show you from... Have I got room to show you from the front? Yes, hopefully I have. So now we're stabilizing left side of the body. You're slightly hinging forwards, sliding that right leg back. So watch as I'm sliding this leg back. I'm not going over here or over there. I'm just sliding it back behind me. Balance. When I'm balanced, I'm going to slightly bring my upper body upright. Then I'm going to lower down to the ground. Then I'm going to bring my centre of gravity forward. So I'm really using this left leg, heel into the ground, step up. Use that left hip to bring your right leg back to balance. Check in with your posture. Balance. Slide back, so you get that slight tilt as you're sliding back. Ball of that right foot in contact with the ground. So you're nice and balanced, nice and strong here. Slightly bring your upper body more upright. As you're bringing your body more upright, that right knee bends, comes down to the ground. To step forwards, shift your centre of gravity forwards, really loading that left hip. Push through that left heel. Step back up. One more time. First of all, nice and tall, check in with your posture at this point. Hinge. As you hinge, you slide back. You balance. Stabilize. Bring that upper body more upright. As you do, that right knee bends and you lower your centre of gravity down to the ground. Shift your centre of gravity forwards. Load this left side of the body, push, step forwards. That looked great actually, watching you all there, that looked excellent. Give your legs a little bit of a shake, give your hands a little bit of a shake. And we'll just bring you back down to the ground now on both sides. How are we doing time-wise? Yes, got just enough time to do this one, so I'll show you from the side. I'll show you first once through and then we'll do it because you've just done all of this bit anyway. So we start here, tall, tilt, slide back, balance, you know this bit, lower. So from here, as long as you're comfortable on this knee, windscreen wiper this left heel back. So you're just rotating and bringing that left heel back a bit. So you're actually rotating a little bit towards the left. You pop your left hand on the ground. Don't worry about this hand at the minute. You don't have to have this hand in the sky. You can pop it on your knee. You can just use it to counterbalance. Then you use your right leg to lift that left knee. Slide that through. Come down onto your elbow. And then I'm going to bang my head. Roll down onto the ground. So let's go to standing. And we'll do it each side, and then when we get to the other side, when we've done it on the other side, you can have a little rest. So let's start in a standing position. We'll be supporting on the right side first, so we're stepping back on the left side. Tall, stabilize on the right side of the body. Tilt, slide back and balance. Upper body coming more upright as we do that. That left knee just is placed onto the ground. From here, we're now going to windscreen wiper, excuse me, that left heel in. So a little bit more rotation. Then bring your left arm and hand down to the ground. Using your left arm and your right leg, just lift that left hip so you can just slide that underneath the body. Sit on your bum, come down onto your elbow, just roll easy the spine down to the ground. Good. Take your time to come up however you want to. We'll do the coming back up next week, but we'll come up to standing again, and then we'll just go on the left side. So balance on the left leg, nice and tall, hinge forwards, slide that right leg back, Balance. As we bring our upper body more upright, we tuck the pelvis a little bit, lower that right knee to the ground. Keep tall through that upper body. You now windscreen wiper that right heel back, so we've opened up the hips, so we're facing a little bit more towards the right. You pop the right hand on the floor. You stabilize through the left leg. You tuck that right leg through. You come back onto your right elbow and you just roll down to the ground, and then you can let your left leg go long, and let's just lie on the ground. A lot of work there, all the big muscles working. Keep just lying and relaxing on the ground. And just let the breath settle. So you're just tuning in. With the breath, letting the breath calm. Keep the lips lightly together. Tongue resting gently on the roof of the mouth. And just breathing in and out through the nose. And remember all of that space in the nasal cavity. With each in-breath, you're warming the air, filtering the air, delivering oxygen to every single cell in the body. Nice, easy, slow, rhythmical breathing. Just to letting the breath settle and the heart rate lower a little bit. A lot of work there, we're using the big glute muscles, all the core, deep core muscles. Just feel the breath being slow, deep into the body, and light. Just let your body do whatever it wants to just to help recover. Let the breath be natural. And notice in this lying, and you're lying down, any areas of maybe unnecessary tension. Just allow those areas just to let go and relax a little bit, maybe in the hips, maybe in the calves, maybe in the lower back. Just really take this opportunity to use gravity and use the ground to actually release and let go. And just follow 2 more breath cycles. So notice as you're breathing in and as you're breathing out, just a couple of breath cycles. Follow the whole breath cycle. And then move your attention to the feet and to the ankles and to the toes, and just give your toes a little bit of a wiggle. Wake them up, remind them that they're there. And then bring your attention to the wrists and the forearms and the hands, and give your fingers a little bit of a wiggle. Maybe give your tongue a little bit of a move around inside of the mouth. And then just slowly take your time in your own time just to come up to a sitting, a comfortable position, a comfortable sitting position where you can finish. You're comfortable to have finished your practice. Excellent. We will finish there. Thank you, as always, for your time and attention. Do keep sending me feedback, because then I can work on the things that you want to work on. So there's really good points that people were making about blood pressure, about actually how to, the beginning points of balance. Work on the small points first, and then once you've got that balance in that very easy standing posture, then you can start progressing, rather than just going, I need to be able to balance and do this, and then doing anything, whatever you can to balance. Excellent. Have a brilliant day. The recording will be up on the portal in about an hour's time, so watch that back if you need to watch that back. But thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.